Man, Alexander Hamilton was such a chubby boy.
Okay. All right. Interesting way to start off. Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you do the intro for this one, man.
I've done the intro for like the past how many videos?
I feel
man?
like you say that every video, but okay. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Episode number 10, pretty sure it's episode number 10 of The Secret to Time
The
Travel.
10-episode special.
It's the 10th episode special. No, not really. Although I did suggest that. I said we should do a top 10 list of best moments from our first 10 episodes. Or first 9 episodes, technically. Nah, I'm just kidding. That would be a terrible idea. What we will be talking about today, as alluded to in our teaser thingy that just happened only like a few seconds ago, is we're going to be talking about Alexander Hamilton. And not just any Alexander Hamilton, we're going to be talking about the one from the musical. We're going to be talking about the musical Hamilton.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes, he was the playwright and played the protagonist of Hamilton.
He was the Hamilton of Hamilton. Yes, you could say.
He was indeed.
No.
I'm the David Croft of David Croft the musical. Just kidding. That doesn't exist. Okay. All right. So so why don't you run down how we have come to this point of our Hamilton life?
Oh god. Well, it all started when I was born. I'm just kidding. It started off when I was scrolling down my YouTube.
1780. No, I'm just kidding.
1780. Okay, that's
back to reality.
2018.
Oh wait! Before anything, right? Let's just give a shout out. Let's give a shout out to someone, right? Subscribe to the Mix channel for awesome gaming videos.
And mostly horror gaming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. It is Mix channel, right?
It is Mix.
Yeah,
channel.
I'm gonna put the Mix channel.
The Mix channel, yeah.
MIX.
Yes, Mix channel.
Yes.
Not Mix channel.
Right. No one got that. Anyways, I'll leave the link in the description. Hopefully.
Oh, hopefully.
If I don't, just Google Mix channel, or YouTube it.
There's like 1,000 Mix channels, man.
Right. Well, this one has like 40 subscribers, and there should be more.
Yeah, that's true.
Cause we're so big, that's why we're shouting him out.
Yeah, he has 40 subscribers. We have
like 10. We're so big.
Yeah, 10 is bigger than 40, obviously.
Totally. I mean, we were just discussing how 40% is basically 50% just before we started recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so he has 50 subscribers.
Yeah. He basically has 50 subscribers, right? Yeah. And we already talked about this, yeah. And if you have 50 subscribers, you basically have 1 million.
Yeah, you have like 1 million subscribers, so you get like all that money, man.
Yeah. If you round off 50 to the nearest million, you get 1 million, so.
Man, I have to pee. Okay, let's not go off topic again.
Do you actually have to pee? Because if you do, then I'll just like say how we got to Hamilton.
Okay. Can you?
Yeah, I can if you really need to pee.
Yeah, I really need to pee.
Alright, you can go on. This is the second time this ever happened. The first time it happened to me. Anyway, okay. So as he goes to pee, I'll talk about Hamilton. Now, I first heard of Hamilton when it first sort of came out in mid 2015, I think is when it first came out. And I didn't hear about it then. Although in late 2015 and early 2016, when it started really picking up popularity, I heard about it every now and then. Oh, Hamilton's so awesome. I was like, oh, cool. Okay, it must be really good. But that was the extent of my interestedness in it. I didn't pursue, and I was not inquisitive enough or curious enough to just sort of look into it further. Anyway, so I watched a video of Studio C. Studio C is a channel. These guys, they make comedy sketches and they're pretty funny. One of their people uploaded.
Shout out to Studio C.
Shout out to Studio C.
Okay.
Anyway, so then I saw their video of lip syncing to Non-Stop from Hamilton, which is the last song of Act 1. Anyway, so I was like, oh, pretty cool, pretty good song. Alright. And then, literally a week ago, right? In early
Yeah.
2018,
Yeah.
Tom messages me.
January 21.
Right, and he's like, dude, Hamilton's awesome. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. And then he finds a thing. He told me he found a thing where it's like basically a compilation of all the Hamilton songs, and it's like animated with drawings. And he watched
Yep.
the whole thing, and he's like, it's awesome. And I was like, oh, cool, okay. I'll watch that then, because like it's a thing that exists, and like I'm never going to be able to watch the actual stage thing, because that's in America. And we are not in America.
We are somewhere else, near Uganda. Somewhere around that area, you know.
Dead
500
meme,
miles.
man. Dead meme. It's too late. Dead meme.
Yeah. Dead meme.
The January
Gosh.
memes are over. Anyway, so and then I watch it and I'm like, dude, this is awesome. And now we're just like fangirling about it, even though we're not girls.
Yeah, well, fanboying.
Is that a term?
I guess so. I think so.
I've never heard of that term before. I've always thought that boys couldn't be fans because only girls could be fans, you know?
Well, that's sexist.
Is it sexist? I'll ask Finn when I next see him.
You're right. Okay. Okay. No one knows who that is, so.
Believe that
Well,
all
no
men
one-
are created equal. And when I meet Jefferson or something, I'll tell him to include women in the sequel. Yeah.
Work.
Work.
Gosh.
Looking for a mind. Oh, we're totally gonna get copyrighted, man, because we're gonna just sing it. Anyway, alright, so yeah, so basically now we both love Hamilton.
Yeah, we both really love Hamilton.
Right. Yeah.
Hamilton is the best. I've listened to the entire thing. Alright. And I just want to mention, just the other day, I found a live action Hamilton
he did indeed.
full thing.
Have you
and I
have you rewatched it yet?
The live one, or
Did you watch the whole live one?
I watched Act 1. I watched Act 1.
I watched the whole thing already. I watched it that night when he messaged it to me.
Oh.
Almost
I
cried,
watched
man.
Act 1. But then, like, I want to continue tomorrow with Act 2, but then I found out it got removed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got removed,
Oh,
man.
I'm so glad I watched it.
Dang. Did you download it or something?
No, I didn't. I just watched it in time.
Dang. Well, I could probably find it somewhere else online. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
You just gotta wait for it. Wait for it to come back online.
Live doesn't discriminate between YouTube policies.
Life doesn't discriminate between the copywriters and the copyrights. Okay, that doesn't make
Live.
sense.
Okay.
Life doesn't
Between the
discriminate between the Finns and the Finhariuses. Wait, hold up a
What?
second. Wasn't Finharius like the guy from like that British YouTuber like back in the day, way back in the day? Why are we talking about this? We're supposed to be talking about Hamilton. Whatever. Okay.
Hamilton, man. Alexander Hamilton.
Yes. Okay, so Hamilton, for those of you who don't know, is a musical about the American founding father Alexander Hamilton.
Yes.
Yes, and he was cool in many
The one-
ways because he was founding father.
Yeah, you know the one on the $10 bills, you uneducated Americans?
Is he on the $10 bill?
He's on the $10 bill.
All right, he's on the $10 bill. But you know who's on the $20 bill? I don't even remember anymore. I think it's Andrew Jackson.
Jefferson.
No, okay, now here's the funny thing, right? Okay, well, we're gonna talk about Alexander Hamilton here. Alexander Hamilton, what is one of the things he's known for doing?
The Federalist Papers?
I mean,
he
yeah,
became the
okay.
state treasury?
Other than that,
The state treasury? He became the first state treasury?
right? Other than that, the thing he did,
The
thing he created.
thing he created?
Yeah. Sort of.
Philip Hamilton?
I believe that was a collaborative process, but well, okay. No, okay, so he advocated for the establishment of a national bank, right?
Oh, yeah.
And for that, he gets put on the $10 bill,
Yeah.
right? And now Andrew Jackson comes around like 20 years later or something, becomes the 7th president of the United States. And he's like, you know what? I think banks are stupid. They should be destroyed. And they put him on the $20 bill.
What the heck?
I'm not even kidding. That's true. He actually did not like the idea of a national bank. He was like, banks are evil. They should be destroyed. Or something like that. I don't remember what it is he believed. But he didn't believe that national banks were a good thing. Or banks in general were a good thing.
What the heck? He was trying to undo Hamilton's work, man.
From based on my knowledge, yes. And so they put him on the $20 bill. He's literally the American people, or not the American people. Whoever put the people on the money was like, you know what? The guy who gave us this money, he's worth $10. But the guy who tried to take it away from us, he's worth double that.
That's right. Hashtag make Hamilton $100.
Yeah, why is Benjamin Franklin even there? He wasn't a president. Everyone thinks he was, but he wasn't.
What did Benjamin Franklin even do?
He got electrocuted. He got his kite electrocuted, man. That's all he
God.
ever did. Or I don't know. I don't know what Benjamin Franklin did, man.
Electricity, man.
All I
That's
know
he
is
did.
that he put a key on a kite and then he got struck by lightning and was like, everyone was like, whoa, that's cool.
It's like Ben Franklin, the key and the kite. You see it, right?
Yeah, I do see it. Well, I wasn't there actually. I don't see it. I wasn't there. That was a lie. I lied. Abraham Lincoln would not approve.
You Americans that don't... Some of you people don't like to study history.
Yeah, exactly. You plebeians.
Yes.
And those of you who don't understand history don't even know what a plebeian is. Well, I'll tell you, it's you.
Whoa. That's offensive.
No, not you, the listener. The listeners, they're all plebeians.
Gosh.
This is the episode where we all just go off the rails. We're like, you know what, you're all plebeians.
They're all plebeians, man.
We are the patricians, you are the plebeians.
Sounds like something from Rick and Morty, but okay.
No, it's from ancient Rome and Morty.
Ancient Rome and Morty. Gosh.
Alright, back to Hamilton.
Back to Hamilton. Some of you people don't like to study history. Y'all people are sick. You need to go to the Broadways and watch Hamilton. But they're not showing it anymore. Because their final show was last year.
Hold on. We didn't go to Broadway.
What?
We didn't go to Broadway. How can we tell them to go to Broadway when we didn't go to Broadway?
Hey man, we gotta support them somehow, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they go on like an international tour.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd come to Malaysia.
I would want them to do that, but they never would because it's such an American thing.
But it's history nonetheless.
I mean,
it's world history.
It is. But it's a very American thing. And this is the thing, right? A lot of people hate America. I don't. No, but yeah, a lot of people hate America. You know, I'm not going to reveal my personal opinions on the matter, but let's just say this, right? Whatever quarrels or disagreements you may have with the current American administration or the current American foreign policy or the foreign policy of the last 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years or whatever problem you may have with the US of A, you know, and I certainly disagree with them on certain things, whatever issue you have with them, don't let that blind you from the fact that these guys, these founding fathers, they are heroes of liberty. You know, they're not just American heroes, they are humanity's heroes in many ways.
In many ways, yes.
Yeah, because they fought for liberty and they got it, and then they came up with ideas to support it, and they believed in what they believed, and they fought for what they believe, and they stood up for what they believe.
They didn't miss their shot.
Yeah.
You could say.
Sure. You know, so yeah. And here's another thing, right? I looked into the political beliefs of Alexander Hamilton, because while the musical itself is fantastic, it's very much an emotion and character driven story in the sense that it tries to kind of, you know, it makes you feel.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily make you think, it makes you feel, right? The little bit of policy, or like there's quite a bit of politics in it, but at the same time, if you were to really look into it, you'd be like, man, this musical left a lot of stuff out. Like, for example, in the musical, it's okay, what in the musical, right? What do you think caused what do you think was the cause for the duel between Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr?
Well, as I have seen, it might, because of the election of 1800, Hamilton voted for Jefferson instead of.
No, he didn't vote, but he used his influence.
Yeah, he used his influence. Yeah.
To influence yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the issue, right, is the election of 1800. It's tied and it goes to the delegates, right? And so there's a bunch of Federalist delegates who are like, I don't like Jefferson or Burr. And they're like,
exactly.
What do I do then? There's no Federalist guy who I can vote for here. And so they're all like, man, who do I vote for? They're all in a room just pacing like, man, who do we vote for? And then Hamilton comes and he bursts in through the door. He's like, guys, vote Jefferson because that guy has beliefs. Unlike Burr, that Burr guy, he's terrible. is drastically oversimplifying it. What were you gonna say?
Even though we fought in the war.
Yeah. Even though he fought in the war, Jefferson was off getting high with France, but just vote Jefferson anyway. In Monticello. In Monticello, But either way, just vote Jefferson because that guy's like actually got beliefs and stuff. So that part is relatively true, but the whole reason for the duel was actually because in 1804 or during the time of Aaron Burr's vice presidency, it was like basically Jefferson was like, man, this Aaron Burr guy, he's not that great.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be my vice president anymore. So he drops him from the vice presidential ticket, and is like, yeah, I don't want you anymore. So Burr's like, oh, okay. So he tries to run as the, I really want to say governor of New York, but at the same time, I'm not sure. It may have been a senatorial seat. I'm just gonna do a quick Wikipedia check here.
Right. I mean, Jefferson in the musical he did kind of say he wanted to change that, he didn't want Aaron Burr to be the vice president.
Yeah, he didn't want Aaron Burr. Wait, what?
Yeah, he didn't want Aaron Burr to be the vice president.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that at the end of the song, election of 1800.
Sure, but that's like after, directly after the election. But but yeah, basically the point is there that Jefferson's like, yeah, Burr is not gonna fly as my VP. So then Burr's like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna win the 1804 election. So he decides to run for governor of New York. And Burr loses to a guy named Morgan Lewis in the largest margin of loss in New York's history up to that time, which probably wasn't that long. And basically, Alexander Hamilton basically Alexander Hamilton opposed Burr. It was like, no, do not make Burr governor of New York. And so Burr was deeply offended by that and was like, hey, you want to fight? And Burr and Hamilton was like, I don't really want to fight, but you challenged me, so I don't want to come out as a wuss.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Then the duel happened.
People were shot. Doctors had their faces turned.
Yes.
Hippocrates was not happy.
Hippocrates?
Yeah. The guy who invented that oath for the doctors.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So anyways, other than that, I looked up his political beliefs, right? Other than the stuff like establishing a national bank and all such. And okay, now look, I looked all this up because of one thing in particular. Look, way before I ever had the desire to listen to or watch Hamilton. Okay. I knew one thing about post-revolutionary America's politics, and that was that there were two main parties, the Federalists and the Democratic Republicans, right? I mean, that's made clear in the musical as well.
Yeah.
And the only thing I knew about either one of those parties was that the Federalists, and I actually didn't know anything about the Democratic Republic, 'cause I knew nothing about them. But the one thing I did know about the Federalists were that they passed this law called the Alien and gosh, I'm gonna forget the thing. Alien and Sedition Acts or something, which is this group of laws that basically make it illegal to criticize the government.
Okay.
Or something similar to that. Basically, it's like this huge crackdown on like people who criticize the government, which, you know, seems a little shady. Wink wink, nudge nudge.
Yeah.
And it's also this thing that I didn't know about this until I read fairly recently, but the Alien and Sedition Acts also do a lot of things against immigrants, like making it harder for immigrants to get US citizenship and to even move into America. And so this was a thing passed by the Federalists party, or like a policy supported by the Federalist Party, which Hamilton created. And now look, me telling you about the Alien and Sedition Acts right just then, what do you think about it?
What do you mean, what do I think?
Like, what do you think? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Criticizing the government is illegal?
Basically that. If you if you really oversimplify it, that's what it is, or that's what it sounds like.
I mean, I don't know. Is it a good thing, I guess?
I mean, it's not really a good thing.
Yeah.
Cause you're making it like basically so that the government can't be criticized, which is obviously like wrong. Cause the government should always be it should be allowed to criticize the government.
Yeah.
You know? And then the immigrant stuff I read about recently is like, yeah, that's not cool either, I guess. Anyway, so that was the one thing I knew about the Federalists. So I was like, well, I don't know. Based on the little bit that I know about the Federalists and John Adams, it doesn't seem like they don't seem like the greatest of guys. But then I look into it more, and the Federalists, in my readings, and this is what I initially thought of, right, after watching the musical, was that Hamilton was sort of, or the Federalist Party, Hamilton, but more broadly, the Federalist Party was sort of similar to the Democrats are now. Wait, hold on. You're gonna have to talk about something, because I've been called away.
What?
I've been called away. You're gonna have to say something.
Oh, okay. Well, while Naufal is gone, you know, I don't really know Federalist stuff, so I'm gonna drop some knowledge on y'all, you know. Gosh. Okay. So, did you know? Okay, so in the musical, Angelica Schuyler, which is one of the Schuyler sisters, Hamilton's wife was a Schuyler sister. Her name was Elizabeth, short for, you know, Eliza, short for Elizabeth. So Angelica, when he met Hamilton in the play, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard footsteps in her. Gosh. Okay. Right. So, okay, remember when Angelica met Hamilton in the play?
Yes.
Remember the song Satisfied, where she was like, oh, Hamilton, he's hot.
Yeah, okay. Right?
Okay.
Hamilton, he's hot.
Yeah.
That should have been the song. Instead of I will never be sad, it should have been Hamilton, he's hot.
Okay. No, okay, but like in the song, she did that and stuff. And then she said she had to marry, you know, rich guys and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, when that whole thing was happening with Eliza and Hamilton, Angelica was already married.
Oh, man. That makes things awkward.
The thing is, she said in Satisfied that she didn't have any brothers, so she had to be the oldest one. But she actually had 15 brothers.
You're kidding.
No, come on.
Okay, I'm
I
googling
thought
this
you
real
knew.
quick.
Google it.
What's her name?
Okay, maybe not 15, but around the teens. Okay, I know it's around the teens.
That's crazy. Married John Barker Church, died 1814. Hold up. Relatives. No, it doesn't. Okay, there is a brother, Philip Jeremiah Schuyler, but there's only one brother,
Really?
according to Wikipedia.
No, there's two brothers, Philip Jeremiah and John Bradster.
Well,
Schuyler.
Wikipedia says Philip and Jeremiah are the same person.
What? Yeah, yeah, Philip Jeremiah Schuyler.
Yeah,
Then
that-
John Bradster Schuyler.
John who?
Bradster Schuyler.
Yeah, that name is not listed on Wikipedia.
Well, okay, let's
Also,
see.
Peggy is not even named Peggy. Her name is Margarita.
Yeah, apparently
Oh.
Margarita. Apparently Peggy is short for Margarita.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
I don't know how,
She
but it's
had
just
8
like,
children.
she had 8 children.
No reference to a second
no.
brother.
Okay, no, she had 3 brothers. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Wikipedia only lists one. Philip
No,
Jeremiah.
okay. It says relatives: Elizabeth Schuyler, Hamilton, Peggy Schuyler van Renhesese, Philip Jeremiah Schuyler, Alexander Hamilton is the brother-in-law, right? Never mind. And then Stephen Van what?
Who's also a brother-in-law. That's Peggy's brother.
Oh yes,
I mean,
Peggy's
Peggy's husband.
husband. Yeah,
Yes.
but yeah, still,
Okay, so
she had a brother.
she did have a brother. She did indeed. Well, okay, hold on. Let's see how much older he is. I mean, younger. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was born. She's 12 years
Okay.
older, but she was born. So it's not like he wasn't a thing. He was like, he must have been like 6 or 7 or something when they. I don't know how old they were when they met, but he would have been alive,
He would have been alive, yeah.
Right. So should I go back to the Federalist thing or?
Wait. Okay, wait. When was he born?
1768.
Okay. Angelica was born 1756. So they wouldn't have been that far apart,
Yeah.
So I don't know where the teens came in. Philip Schuyler Church. What the heck?
Could
Okay.
be like her grandchildren or something, man.
Maybe. Yeah.
This is my grandson. I'm gonna call you my brother.
Gosh.
That's how
Peggy,
I imagine Angelica sounded in her old days.
Also, I just want to say, they just abandoned Peggy in the musical.
In the narrative, totally, they're like, and Peggy, and then after that, no more Peggy.
Exactly, and apparently she died of some disease later on.
She died aged
Yes,
42
died
in
at
1801. Ooh, so she died during the musical, in the musical's narrative, and like nobody cares.
It's like, oh yeah, it's just Aunt Peggy,
Yeah, and then she dies like 3 years before Hamilton. In fact, isn't that the same year as Hamilton's son dying? And they just don't care.
I mean, wait a minute. Hamilton.
Yeah,
When did
yeah.
no, Hamilton's son died before the election.
Philip Hamilton died on November 24th, 1801.
What?
No, okay, remember that date. November 24th, 1801. Peggy died in March of that year. So she dies in March, and then a couple months, and she's like, I don't care. A couple months later, her son dies, and she's like, ah! Which, to be fair, I think probably losing your son would be probably worse, but still, like, you wouldn't just be like, oh, my sister died, yeah. That's a thing. I don't think she would,
Gosh.
like, that should have been a thing.
I know,
These
right?
girls just didn't care about her.
Wait, who's Catherine Van Lessler? Dude, I don't even know.
Think
But
that's-
Elizabeth was
the
married
mom.
at the time of Hamilton. I did know this. I looked this one up.
My goodness. All right.
So she was basically thinking of an affair.
Is what the musical's trying to say?
No, but the musical doesn't acknowledge. No, because
No,
Then
yeah.
what
The musical is essentially trying to say she was already married, and then a couple of years later, she's like, "Oh, the guy I'm married to, I just met a man who always pays." You know, like,
No.
the musical should have said, 14 years ago, I met a man who always pays.
no. Okay, here's the thing.
We already met when. I mean, I already met him when we met, but that doesn't stop me from loving your eyes.
I look into
Oh,
your
Alexander, you're hot.
eyes. Alexander, he's hot.
the unreleased song from the Hamilton soundtrack. Hamilton, he's hot.
Gosh, no. Okay, but like, okay, the guy Lin. I'm gonna call him Lin. Okay, you know who I'm referring to, right?
Lin-Manuel Miranda. Okay.
I don't know why I keep. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, let's just call him Lin-Manuel Miranda Cosgrove.
Okay. So Lin-Manuel Miranda Cosgrove overlooked the fact that Angelica was what the heck? Okay, Angelica was married, so like he kind of forgot about the fact that she was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the musical was like that. And then he tried to fix it by putting that one thing, you know, I met a guy who always pays, you know, he tried to fix it by doing that, but you didn't fix it.
Trying to make it look like she's a prostitute or something. He always pays.
Dude, he might have been
The Reynolds pamphlet all over again.
Reynolds pamphlet all over again. I forgot the name. I forgot her name. Something Reynolds.
Maria.
Marina? No.
James?
Wait. Maria Reynolds. Yeah. You're right. Maria. Also, Eliza's other nickname is Betsy.
Gee.
Apparently. Imagine they went with Betsy instead of Eliza in the musical. Look around, Betsy.
Angelica, Betsy, and Peggy.
Angelica, Betsy, Betsy is lying. Oh my god.
Rise up, Betsy.
Gosh. That would have been so much funny.
It would have been so much funny, man.
So much funny. Much funny, such wow.
Yeah, totally.
Much Betsy. Dude, Betsy is the next Peggy.
Betsy's. Yeah, totally, man. I don't even know what's going on here, man.
Angelica, Peggy, Betsy,
Work. Looking for mine at work. And a man who always pays. He's not a lot of fun. But
dude,
yeah.
Dude, Angelica might have been a prostitute.
I feel like that's what Lin-Manuel Miranda Cosgrove was trying to say here.
No, but like, okay. He did say he found a man that always pays. Pays for what?
And he's not a lot of fun. And no one can match you for turn of phrase. I think that's what was said.
My Alexander.
You're hot.
Don't forget your heart.
Don't forget your heart. I know Betsy forgets sometimes. But don't you forget about me.
Where did that come from? Gosh, we should create our own musical, man.
We should create our own musical, but it's just a mashup of all the great movie songs.
Yes. No.
Like,
right.
It's like, don't you forget about me. I don't know where I'm going with that, man.
It's Betsy.
It's Betsy. Not to be confused with Betsy Ross. She did not design the flag of America.
Right. Oh gosh.
So much copyright strike in this video, man. This podcast video.
Podcast video, man. Gosh. Right, what was I gonna say? Right. Here's the thing. What I want to talk about right now.
Okay.
What we could turn into musicals in real life, you know?
What could be turned into music? Anything could be turned into a musical. Even Betsy.
What about the Great Depression? Work. I have no money.
work, but still get no money.
Gosh.
Work. Communism's better. Work.
Look around. I'd rather kill myself.
No, let's think about this. No, I like your question here. What are some other times in history that could be turned into good musicals?
World War II. How
would that sound like?
Created a super weapon.
What
One
else?
that can pulverize, crunch something.
Do you think
Japan?
Do you think a World War II musical would be good though?
Huh?
Do you think a World War II musical would be good though?
With Lin-Manuel Miranda Cosgrove.
How would they do the Holocaust scenes?
Jews. I don't know.
Jews march into
No.
the gas.
We are going on
Oh
a
my,
trip
that's
to
in
the
such bad taste.
Auschwitz. It's the shower time.
We're going
No,
on
but-
a trip to our favorite concentration.
Oh, you know what? They might as well not even like. They could reference the Holocaust in like the newspapers or something, you know, because Nazi Germany and stuff.
What about
And
Nazi
not
Germany?
like trigger everything.
Right.
everyone.
They don't want to have a bunch of guys singing in concentration camps.
Yeah.
That would not be a good look.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh. Okay. What about Hitler though? You know what I think Hitler would be? You know, okay. You know in Hamilton they have like the king of Britain,
The King of
Great
Britain?
Britain.
Oh, King George, yeah. The
Yeah, King
third.
George. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be like the Hitler, like in the World War II, the musical.
Zan 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 all you people who are undesirable.
Oceans rise.
We need the
empires fall.
Lebensraum or whatever it is that it is, the living space.
We have fought each other through it all. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, safe to say this. If there were ever musicals for other historical periods, we would not be the ones to write them.
I don't know, man. We could write like a crack musical, you know?
You definitely could.
No, we both could, because like we need your knowledge of history and my cracky skills. You know, for a team.
Right, okay.
Where's the next red link, guys?
With the next red link.
Move over,
Oh,
real red link.
we've gone to 40 minutes here, so I feel like we're done here. I mean, I will just quickly say the thing I was saying about the Federalist thing earlier was basically, the Federalists basically believed in more federal authority kind of thing, or they had like a looser interpretation of the Constitution, whereas the Democratic Republicans had a stricter interpretation of the Constitution. So the Federalists, as a result, thought that more federal authority was to the benefit of the new nation, whereas the Democratic Republicans were just sort of paranoid of they were just sort of paranoid of concentration of power they were just afraid of concentration of power. That's basically it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were just like, oh, wait, what you say? Some guy can just tell us to do stuff? No, never.
But yet they did.
What?
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 Hey.
What?
Hey. 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 Hey.
Hey.
That one was always weird to me.
Yeah, it was just like.
Like, hey,
They're so-
hey, 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 hey. You know what I heard?
Hey.
Yeah, what'd you hear? Angelica's a prostitute. Oh, hey, hey, hey.
Angelica.
Betsy.
Look around, it's Betsy.
Okay. We're using that joke too much. This
No, the funny thing is, I said look around, it's Betsy, implying that she's fat. And yeah.
Okay, not to be mean, right? But it sounds like it would be a fat person's name.
Oh my god. I mean,
Yeah.
Betsy is normally used for cows, so.
Are you saying anyone with the name Betsy is a cow?
I'm saying Hamilton is a cow. Ah, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Ugh.
I mean, true
I'm
fact,
saying-
Hamilton actually owned 3 cows in his lifetime.
Really?
No, I just made that up. I'm
That
surprised
would
you
be
actually believe me
strange.
there.
Okay. That would be strange.
What, for a man to own a cow?
No, for Hamilton to own a cow.
What are you-
Just
what are you
think
implying?
casually, so like he has a cow in his office, and George Washington walks in. He's like, Hamilton, what is this? It's my cow. Her name's Betsy.
like, Hamilton, what do you think about establishing a national bank? Moo! Oh, my apologies. That was just my cow. Her name's Betsy. Isn't Betsy your wife's name? Yes.
Exactly.
Are you saying the cow is not my wife?
Look around, it's Betsy. Gosh.
Look around. It's a cow. It's Betsy.
Look around, it's a cow. Her name's Betsy.
Okay.
God.
Let's just end this here. We've done well enough here. And anything?
Yours.
Yeah, it's 42 minutes here. We should probably stop it here.
Yeah, we should really.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to say before we stop it?
Let's just say, well, I'm gonna say, it's Betsy.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say.
Lin Miranda Malware Cosgrove is Hamilton. He is immortal and he has not died.
Lin-Manuel Miranda Cosgrove, King George, the Third, was cool, but Queen Victoria Justice was better. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.